I would like to thank you all, first of all, for being here. Second of all, and first and foremost, we want to put some respect on our channel members' names. I want to thank everyone who are channel members. Shout out to Black Pill, thank you. Shout out to my brother Ironwork, thank you. Shout out to Astro 40K, thank you. Shout out to Kai, thank you. Shout out to Red Wine Entertainment, thank you. Shout out to Lavish, thank you. Shout out to Marie Harmon, thank you. Shout out to Marty, thank you. I'm gonna shout out all of my new channel members, and also, welcome to the channel membership. Thank you. And to Marie Harmon, I want to thank you once again for becoming one of our divine sages. So I definitely want to thank you all. And I think we have some more members to acknowledge here. JCS, thank you, my brother, for becoming one of our benevolent bishops. ABDI, thank you for joining us and becoming one of our sacred guides. Let me drop a bomb for you guys. Thank you so much. Shout out to D. Allen Warren, Happy Dog Lady. Shout out to Josh Waring, right? Shout out to Thug Rob, United with Earth's Energy. I just want to thank you all so much for your membership. Right? Now, today's topic, Lord Jamar versus Professor Dave. We all saw the debate, and everyone want to hear my take on it. Everyone want my review. So let's get right into the review. And every show I like to do a goal, so I thought, let's set a goal for today's show. How about it? Let's set a little goal for today's show, right? Set us a goal. All right, so we set our goal and then we're going to start the video. Oh, I'm sorry. Disregard that goal. It's supposed to be for an hour and a half. Let me redo that, and then we're going to start. Shout out to everybody, like I said. We will do it for 2 hours. And we're going to start this thing off right. So our goal is going to be, I guess, 20 super chats for $10, and we calling out Sarah Subseti for a debate.
Flawless victory.
We calling him out on video, man. He gonna have to respond, brother. We gonna have to call you out for a debate and let it be known that you publicly turned down the fade, sir. Doing a lot of talking. Not only would I call him out for a debate, I will do a re-review of my classic Sarah Subseti video. I'll go ahead and redo that on a live. Professor Dave versus Lord Jamar.
Hey everyone, many of you saw my recent reaction video where I drank whiskey while laughing at a rapping flat earther named Lord Jamar, who was proudly demonstrating his unparalleled stupidity on the podcast of a comedian named Godfrey.
I want to start off by saying this, guys. The energy toward flat earthers ain't normal. People ought to pick up and realize it's something about us that people just really hate, right? And the way that black people are responding to Lord Jamar is anti-black for real, because they acting like the white man know everything. And I don't want to play no race card. And I also want to say much love and peace to all races. I don't even believe in races. I'm going to be honest, I'm using the race word and the word white for lack of better words, and because, to specify a group. But yet what I'm saying is a lot of the people in these pro-black communities, they act like the white man's ice is colder. You know, like, hear Lord Jamar out without saying you ain't an expert. Don't you know there are white experts that's saying that black genetics are inferior? Be careful with just saying he didn't go to school for it. He don't have a degree, because the experts was telling y'all to go get the, I mean, just because a person got a degree don't make them righteous in their heart. So a person degree can be compromised with money. There are people with health degrees right now that are okaying products that they shouldn't be okaying. Oh my God. But you just, let's say they getting a little cut, right? We owe this to our children, right? The Bible, if you're a religious person, the Bible says prove all things. And that goes for what the experts say too. Don't nobody get a pass. That way, if anybody deceive you, the Bible got a disclaimer. I told you to prove it. Proof ain't belief. And just because the whole world believes something, that ain't a reason for you to just blindly believe it. So I don't like the treatment but think about this. Even in the truth community, people don't like flat earthers. And it is so weird that you would think flat earth is the only thing in the world that united the world powers with the truth community, which lets you know that the truth community was controlled all along. Because how are y'all so mad at a small group of morons that y'all said nobody pays attention to? Obviously, y'all do if you making this many videos and you putting this much money behind silence in this little bitty group, guys. We're less than 1% of the earth. And we was mentioned by Prime Minister Bishop Netanyahu. You got to ask yourself, if I don't like flat earthers, the world powers hate flat earthers, all the Freemasons hate flat earthers, all the celebrities hate flat earthers, Bishop Prime Minister Netanyahu even diss flat earthers, Barack Obama, Hillary, these people hate flat earthers. It seemed like people ought to say, man, let's legitimately look into why they're such a threat. Because on one hand, y'all say they're a bunch of bums and idiots and losers. Nobody pay them no mind. On the other hand, you say they're a dangerous threat. In a school, the threat is the bully. And if you ain't scared of flat earthers, I mean, if you're not flatophobic, we shouldn't be dangerous. You giving us a lot of credit, man. You know, it sucks when I hear a grown man that live in the ghetto say that a bunch of people who saying the earth flat is dangerous when he got fentanyl epidemics going on in his community. It sucks if you got people living in these torn down, rough cities like Baltimore saying that flat earth is dangerous. You need to get your kids up out of Baltimore. You're a dangerous parent. You talking about a flat earther dangerous, man. Who's scared of a flat earther? That's just like straight folks saying that, you know, the other people are dangerous. They ain't danger to me. You know, I'm going to do me and raise mine. You know, y'all are too scared. Everything's dangerous. Oh, it's dangerous. Oh, he said the earth was flat. That's so dangerous. He's thinking outside the box. Oh, my God. That's so dangerous. How dare he? This is dangerous. Let's go.
Well, that reaction video set off a chain of events that I'm very excited to share with you today, so grab some popcorn and enjoy. If you recall, Godfrey was the host, Lord Jamar was a guest, and then there was this third fellow. His name is Dante Nero, and after I posted my reaction video, he reached out to me by email. He told me that he's a big fan of the
Oh yeah, Mr. Potato Head. I want to, why don't you reach out to me, Mr. Potato Head? Man, why Mr. Potato Head don't look out for your boy?
No.
Why don't Mr. Potato Head reach out? Hey, Lord Jamar, what my name? Hey, Jamar Milton, if you listening to this, tell me how I get in touch with Tater Head. I want to come on Godfrey's show. Is this a Freemasonic sausage party? How come Sanchez ain't invited? When you talking flat earth in the black space and you ain't brought Sanchez, it's some shilling going on here. It's some shilling going on here. Now, all of y'all know how to get up with me. Godfrey. You know what I don't like about cats like Godfrey? See, Godfrey is a tether, right? He's a tether that rather get the white man on his show than the black man. Yeah, Sanchez came to play that race card today. You know, I didn't deal myself this hand. The dealer dealt this out. And when he dealt out the hand, one of the cards I had in my hand was a race card, so I got to play it.
Channel, and that the episode I reacted to was frustrating for him because he knew that Jamar had no idea what he was talking about, but he didn't have the tools necessary to combat his.
How do y'all know Jamar don't know what he's talking about? Now, I'll admit to this because I'm an honest man. Let's say this, if Jamar don't know what he's talking about, does that make the earth a globe? No. There are globe earthers that was on my show yesterday that didn't know what they was talking about. There were even globe earthers telling other globe earthers, you don't know what you're talking about.
His script in real time. He expressed interest in having me on Godfrey's show via Zoom to have a conversation with Lord Jamar. Now, upon hearing this request, I was immediately aware that if I agreed to do that, it would be a total shit show. I am intimately familiar with people like Lord Jamar. He's a delusional narcissist and complete douchebag whose entire.
You see, y'all shouldn't allow people to talk about, and this is what I don't like about like with the Kendrick Lamar stuff. And I know y'all like, how Kendrick Lamar come up? Watch this. Kendrick Lamar told Andrew Schultz on his song, you never let a white man disrespect a black woman on TV. That's law. Drop a one if y'all heard the Kendrick album, if you heard that line. Kendrick said, because Andrew Schultz was disrespecting not only black women, but black people. And shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar said, look, man, you don't say nothing about a black woman like that on that's law. Like, we're going to protect our own. What I'm saying is this. How are y'all letting this white guy talk about a OG, a hip hop legend? Like, I can talk about Jamar. And if Jamar want to do something to me when he see me, fine, we'll smoke a blunt after it and he still my brother. We still my brother. But I ain't gonna let nobody else talk about Jamar. I feel like you ain't allowed if you ain't got no connection to him no kind of way. I got a connection to him. Why? You ain't gonna be just disrespecting people because that'll become a trend if we don't check it. We can debate the shape of the earth without name calling. Lord Jamar is still a role model image in our community who had a hip hop career, who wasn't a Birdman, a Jay-Z. His image wasn't a dope boy. He wasn't portraying no bad image and all that. He was doing uplifting music, revolutionary music, fighting against the powers that be. So unlike a lot of hip hop artists that's just corrupting the youth, we as black people still eat. Let's say Lord Jamar wrong. Let's say Lord Jamar is totally wrong about the shape of the earth. Bro, a lot of our leaders ain't right about everything. Are we just gonna let white people disrespect them like that? Because I don't really like Professor Dave's energy. It's very arrogant, and it almost comes off as if he's more mad that a black man is trying to be smart and question white intelligence. It don't come off to me as I'm just debating a flat earther who think the earth flat. His energy against Jamar comes off to me as this black man think he's smart. He think he can challenge, white people experts. I don't want to play the race card, but sometime I have to, and I have to just speak from my heart, but I will say I can be wrong too.
Entire identity revolves around his perceived intellectual superiority over the rest of humanity, despite being a willfully ignorant, clueless ass.
And what's crazy is how he's just disrespecting Lord Jamar just because he's thinking outside the box. And this is just, to me, a person that is an agent, a European colonialist-minded guy who's trying to protect the status quo in his nation. He don't want nobody going against or challenging or thinking anything outside the box. He don't want a white man doing that. So imagine if it's a black dude in a leadership position. Check this. This is deeper than flat earth. This is, who are you to question authority? Who are you to think outside the box? Because you don't disrespect a person like this just because they think the earth is flat. You got Christians who believe in talking snakes. You got religious people who I have the utmost respect for, even though they have some of the most craziest beliefs. There are people out here that believe if you kill a chicken, it'll heal your crops. And we get along with them. We respect them. There are men out here that believe that they are the other opposite gender. And you will get in trouble if you don't call them by their pronoun. So we seem to respect everybody, no matter how bizarre their ideology is, or their lifestyle, or their religious ideology or belief. One thing about America, we respect Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, Scientologists. Guess what? We even got satanic churches in America. We got satanic churches in America. Oh my! And Satanists don't get as much disrespect as flat earthers. Something ought to make y'all check into what this small group, why is this small group of people so on the radar so much? If they just less than 1% of the earth population, and they're stupid morons that we laugh at anyway, right? You don't pay attention to that group, right? How does that group get so much attention? If they the stupid idiots that ain't nobody checking for, they losers, right? There's an agenda to destroy these people, and I'm finna get into all of the arguments made in this video and debunk them. And you don't have to accept this evidence and proof that I'm gonna give you today, because I didn't want to accept it at first. One thing y'all gotta realize is that all flat earthers used to be globe earthers, but globe earthers were never flat earthers. I know your motto. I was teaching the globe to globe earthers last night so that they can debate me properly on it.
Basically, he's a flat earther. He is 100%.
Welcome to the channel, Humbled Up. Thank you so much for becoming part of this channel and being one of our benevolent bishops.
Impervious to even the most basic facts and logic, and he will not listen to a word I have to say, no matter how obviously correct I am. But when has that ever stopped me before?
Please like and share the video.
So I agreed to go on the show. Now, I will say that I went into this with the intention of remaining relatively cordial as long as possible, but Jamar began insulting me before I was even introduced, so I decided...
Listen, he said Jamar began insulting him before he was even introduced. And that's true. Jamar was like, F Professor Dave.
To just lace into him.
But here's what people don't realize. Professor Dave already made a video dissing Lord Jamar. See, here's what I don't like about Professor Dave crybaby deceptive ways. He said Lord Jamar started disrespecting me the moment I came in the room. But here's what people don't know. Watch this. A month ago,
by a lot of people.
Look, a month ago, this is what. See, a lot of people don't know about this right here. Let me take my overlay off for 1 second. Peep game. A month ago, Professor Dave reacted to a rapping flat earther while drinking. Now, guess who that rapping flat earther was? Lord Jamar. Now, in this video, Professor Dave straight up disrespected this man, dog. Listen, bro. When Lord Jamar said, if you was in my face, I would punch you in your face, that's not Lord Jamar just being violent. If you watched it, I couldn't even watch all of this because of the disrespect. And my thing is, okay, man, he thinks the earth is flat. Why do you gotta disrespect him? That'll get you hurt for real, man. Like, if y'all saying flat earthers are dangerous, this kind of behavior is dangerous. It don't matter the shape of the earth if you're not even a mature person and you childish. I'd rather be in a room with a bunch of mature flat earthers than a bunch of immature globe earthers killing each other, beating each other up, calling each other out their name. Respect is first before forget the shape of the earth. Bro, my respect come first. I'm going to tell you something right now, bro. I'm very passionate about flat earth. But dude, I care more about you respecting me than the shape of the earth. Real talk. I love the shape of the earth. I'll die for this flat earth thing. But bro, I'll die 2 times for my respect as a man. You ain't just gonna keep disrespecting me. And this what people don't realize. Because Lord Jamar saw this video and Lord Jamar already had a chip on his shoulder for Professor Dave. And Professor Dave knows that. But Professor Dave want to go on the Godfrey show and play dumb. Professor Dave wants to go on Godfrey show and act like he didn't disrespect this man for an hour and a half, calling him all kind of foul names that I'm telling you right now, cats in New York don't play like that, Professor Dave. And I don't like this kind of childish behavior because I love debating the shape of the earth. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I don't want to fight, man. I don't want to be getting into quarrels and childish arguments and we threatening each other. But the stuff that these globalists do and how they talk about you on their channel, of course, when you see them, it's going to be up. And it's like, bro, keep the same energy. You know what you was doing on your channel. So you know when you see me, what kind of energy I'm going to have. Why don't you keep the same energy you had? You know, because you're a deceiver. You're trying to paint the picture like Lord Jamar is some violent black man, some weed smoking violent black man who can't control his behavior. When you can't control your behavior, which is why you can't make a video about a flat earther without calling them out their name or name calling. That doesn't fly where Lord Jamar is from. And I gotta be honest, it don't fly where I'm from either. You got to learn to disagree with people and still respect them. Real talk, I don't agree with a lot of the things that the Christians believe in Alabama from the Bible Belt. They're very strict. And I wouldn't disrespect them because, hey, you get punched in the nose now, okay? Like, it's one thing to challenge a person's ideology. But the moment you call them a name, it's too much. We're adults. And a lot of people, you can call them a name and they ain't gonna name call you. They just gonna punch you in the face. And we don't need this in this debate section. This is an intellectual space. And moving forward, any debate that I have, I'm gonna make people agree to terms that we cannot behave a certain way. Because at the end of the day, I think it's deeper than flat earth. People saying flat earth is dangerous. I'm gonna tell you what's dangerous. When kids see grown people interacting like kids.
Him from the first moment. Even though my volume was dramatically lower than theirs, even though he was talking over me constantly, even though there was barely...
And by the way, at an hour mark, I will open up the chat room, but the chat room ain't guaranteed to stay open. I love the chat room the way it is now because we don't have the trolls there, trolling and all that. A lot of people want to come on these things and they just want to troll. So I said, look, I'm not turning my chat off because I got members that want to chat. So we going members only. Now, that'll keep you trolls out. And to everybody else that's watching in, we will try the chat room later. But if we get trolls, we shut it down.
Any attempt by Godfrey to moderate him so that I could get equal speaking time, I still took a big steamy
And one thing is, okay, let's just play the video.
And made him look dumber than rocks in front of his own audience.
That's what I meant to do. I meant to give a shout out to Thug Rob for gifting that membership. Thank you, my brother.
So much so, in fact, that after less than 20 minutes of interacting, Jamar threatened to leave the studio if I wasn't cut out of the feed. And then, mere minutes after the live stream was posted to Godfrey's channel, it was pulled, undoubtedly.
And watch this.
Because Jamar told Godfrey to pull it, since he knew how unbelievably stupid he looked.
And I doubt that. This is what I'm telling you right now. Lord Jamar ain't got no problem battling the flat earth thing and don't care how you look at him with that. I'm telling you why they put the stream now. They put the stream because Lord Jamar crashed out. I'm going to be honest. Don't flatter yourself and think that Lord Jamar is embarrassed with his arguments that he made. Now, I'll even agree with Dave that Lord Jamar wasn't in his best. Lord Jamar wasn't in his best debate mood, and he was getting a bit frustrated. And that's because he already was triggered from the video that you made a month ago. So Lord Jamar wasn't really on no flat earth stuff. I'm going to be honest with you. Lord Jamar was on some I want to run a fade type stuff. No. I'm just saying. Like, real talk, I don't think Lord Jamar would be on some debate stuff if you tried to set it up with Dave. I think he would challenge him to a fight. Because why? Is Jamar a violent person? No. It's the fact that go and watch the videos that Dave got against Jamar. He's really disrespectful, man. And people let him get away with it because it's sarcastic and it's idiots and morons and stupid, right? And when it's coming from a white guy, it's like, okay, it ain't that bad. But if a black guy walk up into another black guy face and say, bro, you an idiot, they're going to fight. And so with Jamar is like, man, ain't nobody gonna be calling me idiots, morons, and stupid, and I didn't call them that. And you're calling Lord Jamar that just because he's a flat earther. If you think his belief, his idea is stupid, is dumb, you keep that to yourself. I used to go around and tell religious people, it's dumb for you to be believing in Buddha. That's stupid for you to believe in Allah. You believe in a sky daddy. And as I matured, I realized like that is so immature. It is okay for me to think that your religious beliefs is stupid. It's not okay for me to walk up to you and say, hey, you stupid, man. That's going to cause chaos and fights. So you literally got to learn how to be professional and conduct yourself in a way to where you say, hey, brother, you believe in Allah? You mind if I have a conversation with you about your belief? Yeah, you know, I used to be religious and I kind of fell away from God because I was, couldn't come to grips with the idea that there would be a guy in the sky allowing all this evil to go on. Could you and you can challenge them like that way in the conversation. And these are better for humanity versus this divisive sort of childish stuff going here. It's very exhausting. Let me give a shout out to Top Dog 86. Thank you so much. Flat out truth made Dave look extra dumb, for real. Okay, then send me the link to that video and I'll do a future review on that one. We'll do a stream on it. Let's welcome Resty to Illuminated Initiate. Thanks for joining our channel. Thank you very much, Verified, for joining our channel and becoming a member.
But, my friends, you'd better believe I anticipated exactly this, so I recorded the Zoom session from my end. I knew that this exchange was going to be absolute gold, and I was not disappointed. With that context covered, enjoy this brief interaction with one of the dumbest people alive.
There's not fire in a vacuum of space.
I want to say
like,
something.
go ahead. It's
Like,
ridiculous.
before we bring Professor Dave, here's my thing.
Man,
Let me
fuck Professor Dave.
Go ahead.
Before he even get here. You know why?
When it comes to hip hop, right? There's questions I have to ask because he spent his life studying being a part of hip hop. To take the people that have spent their lifetime understanding physics,
Oh my
science.
gosh.
So it don't a person don't spend their lifetime understanding physics. You don't get into physics till around high school, college, maybe a little in middle school, depending on where you from. Big love to D'Angelo the Legend. Thank you for becoming a family member of this channel. We thank you. Thank you all. You don't get it. You don't be into physics your whole life. That's like saying, I can't challenge a politician because they've been into politics their whole life. So they're the shystiest people on earth too. See, it doesn't matter that a person is an expert if they are a deceiver, right? Right? You telling me I can't challenge a doctor on my body because he's the expert, so I can't question him and challenge him. People do it all the time. The doctor tell people you got cancer and you're never gonna be able to get rid of it. And those people, they don't believe the doctor. They go to Dr. Sebi. They go to alternative measures. And you know what? They beat the cancer. They beat the cancer. They go into detox. A lot of people have proven that all these doctors that sentencing people to death ain't always right. Now, some people are saying, well, Jesus was the miracle because the doctor said this, this, and this, but the doctor was wrong. I'm still here. I've been in church before, and I've seen several of those testimonies proving that the experts can be wrong, man, and that the experts should be challenged. Because the experts are the ones that are saying a baby in its mother fetus knows what gender it wants to be. Don't you know that's an expert? The experts told us in the 60s smoking cigarettes was actually healthy for your lungs. It's very dangerous to leave your children's future in the hands of the experts and just believe that they are moral, honest people and that they will use their expertise and not their greed. You see, I can get a degree in health, but I can work for a cigarette company with my degree. I can do tests for the cigarette company and I can approve the fact that these things are safe to market long as you put this label on them. In other words, I can have a health degree and I can work for a food company that is still selling GMO food. And even though we all know that that is not good for your health, and I'm a health expert, I still work for Tyson Farms. I still work for McDonald's with my health degree. Quit thinking that a person with a health degree is a good person. So what? You can use a degree for good or bad, just like a gun. And we should have learned that during the jab, during the pandemic. You had people with degrees in the medical industry that were divided up on whether you should get the jab or not. Two people with degrees disagreeing. You have a right as a human to challenge authority, to question authority. And when you don't do that, you forfeit one of the greatest powers that we have as humans in this world. It is a bad trait to teach children. Let me give a big shout out to Vita Naverna. Thank you so much for becoming a part of this channel.
All kinds of
That don't
things.
matter.
But it's absurd. It would be the equivalency if I took
Oh
an
my
internet
God,
dude.
that does not
and
matter.
let me finish. If I took an internet dude who got a couple of tracks and asked him about the history of hip hop, it's the same.
Let me explain something to you, right? The biggest hip hop channels online right now are people that ain't even from the culture, bro. Listen, man, I'm finna show y'all how this Mr. Potato Head don't know what he talking about. Watch this. I'm gonna show you what and these old heads need to sit down somewhere. They in the way, they do a lot of talking, but they don't know what they talking about. I'm finna just share some with you and debunk him real quick, right? Watch this. He talking about if a person didn't grow up in the hip hop culture or the black culture, they can't say nothing about it. Just like a person who didn't grow up into politics, you can't challenge the governor. I just got to let the governor do what he want to do because he got the political degree. No, man, that's a dictatorship. I got a mind. That degree don't make them God, bro. Like, they can be questioned. But to his point, right, to show you he's wrong, some of the biggest platforms that's teaching about hip hop didn't grow up in it. This is a white boy. His name is Trap Lord Ross. He know more about trap music than me, and I'm from the South. I'm gonna say that again, bro. I am a trap music producer. I'm from the South. I was born into the culture of trap music. And dude be educating me on stuff about trap music that I still didn't know. So quit thinking one person know it all. It don't matter that a person got a degree. Because a person got a degree in history, history taught him Columbus discovered America. And we all know that's a lie. So I shouldn't challenge a historian. Even though the historian teaching me Columbus discovered America. And I know that Columbus didn't discover America. My people was here. But I supposed to just go with it because he got the degree. Y'all leading our children to hell like that, thinking like that. We should be questioning authority. And if anybody should be doing it, it should be black people. Facts. So to his point, right? Some of the biggest hip hop channels ain't even black people. Here go another one. End of sentence with 1090 Jake. Right? These are white boys who are hip hop historians. A lot of them didn't, like Trap Lord Ross didn't grow up in the hood. He studied it all his life. And a dude that grew up in the hood didn't study it all his life. That don't make him know everything just because he grew up in the hood. A person that didn't grow up in the hood, that's on the outside looking in, actually got a better vantage point than the people that's living right there in it. Most people that live in the hood, they don't even leave out of their little hood. So that if you ask them something about other hoods, they don't even know. But these hip hop historians and people like 1090 Jake, they can tell you a doggone near about every hood in America. And that's why they got millions of subscribers. So I don't know why y'all black men be hating on them. Learn more and you can do it too. I'm not mad at these guys because it takes a lot of work and research. It takes more than just growing up in the hood. It takes more than just I grew up in the hood. You ain't researching, you don't know nothing. That's why all of our OGs ain't got big YouTube channels given the history of hip hop. Why Professor Griff channel struggling? Let's go to it. Come on now. Professor Griff is a doggone revolutionary in hip hop. He can barely get views. Put his life on the line for the culture. And the white boys running the doggone narrative when it come to hip hop history. When it come to street history, gang history, white boys are ruling that on the YouTube. You know why? Black dudes don't like to do research. They like to say, I know it all because I'm from the hood. Look at there. Professor Griff was born inside the revolution. But it's still white channels that get more views than him because they are putting more work into researching it on a macro level. It's deeper. Professor Griff just giving you his one little personal experience from him being born into it versus a person that ain't born into it looking at all of y'all experiences from the outside in. He can give a broader picture. And if you were born into this thing, you still got to do that work. You just can't say, well, I was born in it, so watch my videos. Good luck with that.
Same thing.
No, it's not.
One
No, it's
person.
not. But what about, you say scientists?
So what's the point of it? The point is anybody can be challenged, even an OG like Professor Griff. He's not always right about what the history of hip hop. If you put a bunch of hip hop OGs in a room, they'll argue too. They'll be right on a lot of stuff, but it ain't gonna always everybody right about everything.
Let me finish.
So that's dumb logic to say you can't question a person just because they got a degree or a certificate and you don't, or whatever they credentials may be. That means I can't question a police officer because I didn't go to school for law enforcement. So if he beat me upside the head with a billy club while I'm in handcuffs, I can't call him out on it and tell him he wrong just because he's a law enforcement officer, even though we see law enforcement officers do things all the time that they didn't learn in the academy. Right? So if we went by your logic, then George Floyd family wouldn't be able to question. Guess what you're saying? When the police do things that we don't like and get away with it, guess what the police department say? Well, that was in his training. So why y'all mad? He was an expert when he choked your loved one out. That wasn't. So y'all want to question the expertise of the law enforcement authorities who got degrees in this. They got certificates from the academy. But black people challenge their knowledge of the law all the time. Tell me I'm lying. Black people challenge police knowledge of the law and authority more than any other group. You don't care that the police went to school for law enforcement. You don't care that he's certified from the academy. You think you know more than him when you get pulled over. I see it all the time. Keep that same energy.
I took an internet dude who got a couple of tracks and asked him about the history of hip hop. It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It's one
No, it's
person.
not. But what about, you say
What's good, iCarly? What's good? Thank you so much.
scientists, right, that have been studying for a long time. But there are people in these professions that have there to lie, just like medical apartheid against African Americans. There are trained doctors.
When you
Godfrey say a lot of real stuff. I just don't understand why Godfrey trying to blackball and shadow ban me. I would love to go on his show and do a presentation on Flat Earth. Now, let me go ahead and take a little accountability. I have kind of trolled Godfrey and said he's a tether and different stuff like that. So just to give him just to be fair, he probably saying, you know what? He said this about me. I ain't letting that Negro on my channel. I don't got to talk about Flat Earth that bad, right? But he's a comedian, so I was saying maybe he ain't got that thick skin like that. He don't care if I, troll him, tether him out, boom, boom, boom. He joke on people all the time. But yeah, man, it ain't that deep. I don't hate him as a person. I'm just trolling him because I'm trying to get on the show for real.
follow the
lied
money,
to black people about health.
they're going to
but
say whatever the money tells them to
nobody
say.
is saying that didn't happen.
No scientist
Nobody's
is getting
saying that didn't
funded if they do not say what the money wants them to say, sir.
Okay, that's conspiracy.
No, it's
That's
not.
not
It's
fact.
real.
Yeah,
It's
every-
a fucking fact.
But you don't get to say
Science
that
is a
everything
religion
is that
now.
way. You don't get to
Science
say
is
that.
a religion. It is not
Science is not a
what you
religion.
think it is.
That's
Oh, yes,
what
it
it
is.
is. That's
And
what it is.
This is
people
great.
worship
100%.
at the altar of science.
Nobody's
And
worship
these
at the
people are
altar
your
of
new fucking deacons and bishops, and you believe that they have the power.
Let's
They're
go.
closer to
Let's
God
go.
than anybody else. No. Hang on a second.
You
My
okay?
whole disclaimer before we even start this bullshit, okay, is that, hang on, I issued a challenge, Godfrey, to even come here to talk to Mr. Whoever,
Right.
scientist man,
Right.
that if he can present me a working model of a ball that water sticks to the outside of
rotating.
it. Yes, as it rotates, I'll gladly sit down and have a talk with him. He hasn't showed me such model. I can give you a model right now as we sit here.
Oh, is Dave around? Is he there?
He's on. I
Can he hear us?
A model right now.
I can hear you guys.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Dave. It's Godfrey. How
With
are
a
you? I don't
concave
see
bowl.
you.
Doing good.
You're doing good.
Can you guys see me?
Hey.
What up, Dave?
Dave, are you Dave the scientist?
I'm the one that contacted you, Dave.
Are you Dave the scientist?
Yeah, he's the one
I'm a
that
science
contacted you.
communicator.
Science communicator. Well, hey, how you doing? First
What
time
does that
meeting
mean?
you.
difference?
I'm
Science
doing good.
communicator.
Science communicator. Okay. Well, here you are. You do not believe in the flat Earth theories, and you are. I've been taught that the Earth has been.
It's not a theory. I hate to keep saying that. The globe is based on the theories. The flat earth is based on the facts. Now, I know if you're a globe earther and you're hearing this for the first time, you're like, facts, I know, but stick around.
Around for a long time. And when the flat earth thing came around, I said, okay, what's this about? And then I listened to some of the flat earth stuff. And you know what? Some of the stuff made sense. I was like.
And that's why I say I want to go on Godfrey's show. I want to go on Godfrey's show because he seems and appears to be open-minded and legitimate about his approach to the topic. Because he said, hey, man, but these flat earthers are making some points. I like that because he ain't painting us out like just some dumb behinds that just stupid all the way around, right? You can't lie like we're not bringing some real legitimate arguments to the table that deserve investigation, not just ridicule and name calling.
That kind of makes sense. And then, when you hear about what you've always been learning, well, that kind of makes sense. And then when I talk to, actually, Dave, when I talk to a fighter pilot, and then they go like 50,000 feet, way higher than commercial jet. I say, have you seen curvature? He goes, yeah, we see the curvature of the Earth.
Let's talk about fighter. I want to deal with each one of these arguments one at a time. So there have been two arguments that's been made so far. Okay. And that is fighter pilot curvature. And I think Lord Jamar brought up combustion. So as I thoroughly review this, we want to talk about all of these that was brought up. So going to skip on over to Chat GPT just to lay down some basics. How high must we rise up to see the curvature of the earth just so we are? What we like to do is do our own research, go and get our own receipts, and so we can follow along, right? So it says at 35,000 feet, that's a commercial airplane. They said you can see the curve of the earth from a commercial airplane, but it's so doggone, it's not extremely dramatic, but it is noticeable, right? Now, the higher you go, boom, at 328,000 feet, though, is where we get the most pronounced curvature. But is Chat GPT always right? Right? I don't think it is. Let me explain to you why. Chat GPT said you can see the earth curve from 35,000 feet. Now watch what I'm about to do right now, though. I'm going to show y'all something about Chat GPT. Show me an image of Earth's curve from an airplane. This why, it's hold up. Oh, okay. I've apparently reached my limit. All right. Let me see here. Bear with me, everybody. Because everyone voted that they wanted me to do the show without pre-prepping anything. So here we go. And with these kind of shows, you got to bear with me to access certain slides. All right. Boom, boom, boom. So let's get back to the argument about this fighter pilot at 50,000 feet seeing the Earth curvature. Now let's go ahead and pull up an image of Earth's curve first from an airplane. Right? I don't know if y'all ever flew in airplanes. I'm pretty sure most of you have. But you can't see the curve of the earth from an airplane. You just can't. And these kind of images are so fake that it's crazy. Like you this seems like it's in space. So you try to find stuff like this, right? That is not real. I fly in airplanes all the time. It's perfectly flat from an airplane. So ChatGPT said you can see the Earth curve from an airplane, but that right there is something that I'm just telling you is not true. This is more like what you're going to see. You know, straight line. This is more like what you're going to see. And so when you talk about a fighter jet or a pilot seeing the Earth curve, you got to understand that the pilot uses equipment that is based upon a horizon being a straight line. Check this out, right? When a fighter pilot is flying 50,000 miles above the Earth, right? How does he know he's level with a flat plane? Because he lined up these two crosshairs with this white line. Let me explain something to you. Matter of fact, let me show something to you. Because if you look at this pilot's attitude indicator, and I was in the Air Force, by the way, but the pilot's attitude indicator, it's made based upon the flat earth principles, as you can see. It's made from similar principles. Here's the North Pole, but we ain't going to go into the cosmology. We're going to show you something here about this 50,000 miles up. You can see the curvature claim. This is a fighter's jet altitude indicator. If he go up the 50,000 feet, right, you will see these lines right here climb. It'll go up to 50. And once he level his plane up, think about this now. Let me show you what I'm saying. When a fighter pilot is leaving the ground and he's raising up in elevation, once he get to 50,000 feet, he don't want to keep his plane slanted. At 50,000 feet, he got to level his plane back out and fly straight. Now, when he level his plane out, how does he know he's leveled? Because of the equipment he uses. Those yellow hairs right there evens up with the horizon line, and that let him know he's flying horizontal to a flat plane. If the Earth was a curve, then guess what? The outer endings of this altitude indicator would bend as he rises in altitude, as it'll get him killed. If a pilot's altitude indicator was accounting for the curvature of the Earth, which it also should count for spin. It should let him know exactly which direction he's flying in relation to the spin of the Earth, which is from east to west at 1,000 miles per hour. So depending on which angle he's flying, he would have to know. This thing would need a lot more information. But these are designed for a non-rotating flat Earth. And I'm showing it to you, even by the layout of it, based upon Hebrew cosmology. But check this out. If the Earth was a curve, you know how this equipment would work? The higher up you raise, the more that this white line would bend. The pilot would need to know that information. That'll be critical information for his life. He would need to know the higher I rise in elevation, the more curvature that I'm going to see below me, right? So this equipment will show him that. When he raised in elevation, the outside of these lines would bend more. And to the point, let's say that pilot go all the way into space. Then this would be a big circle in his indicator. And the horizon indicator would probably break because it ain't designed to go up that high. It'll just get to one number and lock or something like that. But I'm just giving you an idea. If the higher up we rise, the more curvature we see, pilots' equipment would definitely give them that life-saving data. And it will also give them spin information. None of that is there, which suggests that we're over a non-rotating Earth. And we keep showing y'all the document from NASA, right? Right? To show you that. So, oh yeah, they trying to get that document off the internet now. But here it is. All this aircraft is based upon what? The nonlinear equations of motion used in this model are general 6-degree of freedom equations representing the flight dynamics of a rigid aircraft flying in a stationary atmosphere. In a stationary atmosphere over a flat, non-rotating Earth. You can pull these up for yourself from the Air Force. You even got some of these with NASA, if I'm not mistaken. With NASA and the Air Force is like one doggone agency. I can tell you that. Y'all like to talk about the experts, right? Well, I was in the Air Force. I mean, hey, I didn't do nothing but study aerospace science when I was in there. I mean, hey. For whatever it's worth, I did study aerospace science for 4 years. That's the knowledge of how you design aerodynamics in the upper atmosphere. I actually studied that for all of my 4 years in high school. Oh, so, but you see, we need to get back to this argument now about, I'm gonna break them down one at a time. The first one is a fighter jet at 50,000 feet. He can't see curvature if his altitude indicator isn't reflecting what he sees. In other words, right, the pilot can't look out his window to fly the plane all the time. Most of the time, the pilot is relying on instruments and equipment to give him data on positioning and all of that, because relying just on your eyes when you're a pilot can be very dangerous. That can be that's why they got all of those instruments up there, giving them all that data. A pilot can fly a plane without ever looking out the doggone window with this equipment that they got. Right? And so that's really his eyes. So if the pilot was looking out of their window saying curvature, then their equipment will give them that data. Otherwise, it'll be life-threatening. We would definitely have to design equipment to give data that will represent, hey, when he rises up in altitude, that should reflect my curvature on my indicator. You can't keep this line flat the more I rise up, but you're teaching me that the more I rise up, the more curvature I'm gonna see. See, equipment in aircraft is based upon a flat Earth, all right? The equipment in aircraft is based upon flat Earth. And this is just common sense. Now, people gonna debate this, but remember, these the same people that'll tell you, right? Trust the experts. And I asked them, were you in the Air Force? So here is a pilot right now.
How long have you been a pilot for?
43 years.
Wow. What shape is the planet?
Flat. We're supposed to keep it a secret.
Okay. How long have you been a pilot for?
So guess what? All of these globe earthers like to say, the pilots tell me that the Earth is a globe. The fighter pilots tell me it's a globe. Well, guess what? Just like with everything else, everybody's divided up on it. Because all pilots are 50-50. You got a bunch of pilots saying it's flat. You got a bunch of pilots saying, well, I see the curve. But I just showed you all of these pilots know it's flat because the equipment is designed for a flat Earth. And I just read to you the document from the Air Force on how we design aircraft. Let's play the video again for all of you people that like to bring up pilots.
How long have you been a pilot for?
43 years.
Wow. What shape is the planet?
Flat. We're supposed to keep it a secret.
Okay. How long have you been a pilot for?
Shout out to that pilot. He probably got fired after that, I ain't gonna lie. They probably told, look, we don't do flat Earth conspiracy talk with our company. We don't want our customers, you know, we gotta let you go. Think we gotta let you go. Bless his heart. Now check this out. This is what you see from an airplane. Look at the wing of that plane. It is parallel to the horizon. Look at how this pilot is doing a good job. He has his plane, right? Let me show you. He has his plane even with the horizon line. And he's when he's looking at his altitude indicator, I'm burning an incense, right? I'm burning one of them kind of incenses. But when he have his plane leveled with the horizon line, he's not flying over a curve. His altitude indicator is always indicating a level plane so he can stay parallel to it, right? And his wing is reflecting this, right? A plane is flying parallel to the plane. That's how he know he's going straight versus up or down. That's critical information that can really cost you your life. That's data that you got to know. And that's why pilots know the truth. But here is a very good image that I thought was just fantastic to show you how a plane flies level with that line based upon, this is what this pilot is seeing in the cockpit. And the person that's flying near the wing, they can look out at a flat horizon and see, okay, we flying in a straight line. We ain't constantly nosediving because we're on a ball and that the indicator got to compensate for the plane flying over a ball. Why? Because let me just show you something real quick. Do I got a ball? I probably need to invest in a ball just for demonstrations. We'll use my hand for now. If the plane is flying over a ball, this would be going into outer space. He can't just fly straight over a ball. He got to fly, like you said, circumnavigate that ball in all these directions. But his altitude indicator is always indicating that he's doing this. Okay? And this is what we see from an airplane. So I don't know what the heck ChatGPT talking about.
Stupid.
You're not an astronaut when you're taking a commercial flight, people. If the Earth was a globe, you still wouldn't be able to see the curve from an airplane. That'll make the Earth a very little globe. Okay? So we got that one now. He said 50,000 feet, they see curvature. He said 50,000 feet, they see curvature. What is this? Maybe we'll come back to this. I don't know why I opened that right now. Hold on a second. Okay, here we go right here. This is 20 miles high. All right, at 20 miles high, this is what we get. To people who want to know how, and here's another beautiful picture of an airplane, flat horizon, and a sunspot right there. We're going to talk about that later when we get on the sun. But let's talk about Godfrey saying at 50,000 feet, you can see curvature, huh, Godfrey? Let's put that to the test. Let's put it to the test. This is an image at 20 miles up. This is a dog cam. The horizon line, let me take my overlay off of this one. Check me out, right? This 20 miles up.
How long have you been a pilot for?
20 miles up right here. Flat horizon, 20 miles. Now, ChatGPT told us at 35,000 feet, you can see curvature. Do y'all know how much 20 miles is? 20 miles is 105,000 feet, people.
Oh my God!
I'm going to say that again. This image right here is 105,000 feet off the ground, and it's flat. It is flat. You feel me? At 100,000 miles up, the Earth's still flat. But somebody's saying it's a ball at 35,000 feet. The math. Mic check. Mic check. Can y'all hear me? Drop a one if y'all can hear me right now. Drop a one if y'all can hear me right now. Everybody put ones up if you can hear my voice right now. All right. I just had to get a mic check. We finna continue this. Appreciate y'all. All right, so I got ones, so I'm gonna keep going. All right, so this is 20 miles up. That's 105,000 feet. So Godfrey wrong when he's saying you can see curvature at 35,000 feet. And even more, right? Let's go to Chat GPT. How high is Mount Everest in miles? Mount Everest, right? Okay. Mount Everest is 30,000 feet. They said you can see curvature at 35,000 feet. But I don't know how it's going to go from flat like this to 35,000 feet. We seeing curvature. That's just 5,000 miles. Excuse me, 5,000 feet. How is 5,000 feet, that little bit of amount, going to give us that amount of curvature? Because a person in Mount Everest see the earth flat. And a person just 5,000 feet higher than them saying, I see a curve. The math don't math. If a fighter pilot sees the curve at 50,000 feet, then we should see the curve here at 110,000 feet. Check that out. That's 110,000 feet. Okay? So we debunking all the crap, you know. This is stuff people say, but this is stuff people do. They take dog cams, they launch them up into the atmosphere, and they let them things see if there's any curvature. So y'all can believe what people say, or you can science with us, and we can watch what people do, and we can see if it ain't no curvature at 110,000 feet, surely it ain't no curvature at 35,000, 50,000. Common sense. Let's keep moving. And here's just another image just to show you, like, here go 30,000 feet right here from an airplane. Where the curve at? Again, if you go up just 5,000 more feet, a miraculous curve ain't just going to pop out on your plane window. So again, the pilot's attitude indicator is never reflecting the curve beneath his feet if there was one. All right. How we doing in the chat room? Let me get ones again if y'all hear me. I just need to see my chat room moving right now because I don't see no activity. How we doing in the chat room? Talk back to me. Put some flat powers up. Let me know we with me. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and unlock the chat for everybody. But moderators, keep the trolls out. Keep them trolls out. Now everybody can chat. But again, my only rule is you don't got to agree with us, but we don't like name calling over here. We're trying to act like mature adults. And to us, we don't care about the shape of the earth. It's respect first. Then we can talk about the shape of the earth. But respect first, though. It's respect first. So 121,000 feet, again, y'all get the point. People who talking about it's curvature that you can see from an airplane or curvature that you can see, right, from a fighter jet plane. That is all lies. That's all lies. This is 60 miles up, y'all. Now, at 60 miles up, you know that's crazy. We should definitely see curvature, right? Let me give you an idea of what we dealing with. 60,000 miles. Sorry, Chat GPT, let's go. So, people, that's 316 million feet. Wait a minute. No, oh, hold up, boy. Let me laugh at myself. Oh, my laugh button messed up. Ha, 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 ha. But yeah, it's crazy because, you know. Oh, hold on, everybody. Sorry. Yeah, it's crazy because that's 316,000 feet, bro. That is 316,000 feet. You telling me, shout out to Marty. Thank you so much. My stream deck tripping right now, so I'm going to just clap it up for y'all, and I'm going to do it like this right here. Appreciate that love, baby. Now check this out, right? At 316,000 feet. This is what we see, y'all. This is what we see. 316,000 feet. Right here. Flat as a pancake. So you can't go with what people say. You got to look at the evidence, man. That's what science is about. You can't pick and choose. You got to really examine the evidence. Now, guess what somebody can say? They can say, well, Sanchez, maybe the earth bigger than what we thought. Well, if you make the earth bigger, my weight would change. That's facts. That is facts that if you change the size of the earth, my weight would change. You weigh different on different size planets, people. The size of the planet will have an effect on its gravitational pull. And if you was on a planet that was like big with a strong pull, right? Because mass equals more attractive force. The bigger the thing is, you would tend to weigh more. Like I weigh like 150 now. But if we doubled the size of the earth, it'll feel like I'm 300 pounds. And if you 300 pounds, you wouldn't even be able to walk. You'll be feeling like you 600 pounds. You see how this works? If you shrunk the earth by half, my weight will go to half of 150, which will be 75 pounds. I feel like a kid again, you know? Just showing you how it works. And the earth wouldn't have that much of a gravitational pull because it's small. I can break away from it easy. If you shrink the size of the earth, actually everything will shrink with it proportionally. So I don't know the theories behind how that'll work because it's just a theory. If you shrink the earth, that'll never happen. But the point is, it will definitely have an effect on the pull of the earth on your mass and your perceived weight on the earth. That would definitely change. So you just can't say, well, we want to make the earth bigger now. When the math behind me weighing 150 pounds right now is based upon an earth that is 24,000 miles in diameter. If you saying that the earth is now, and I'm just assuming if someone say, well, you don't see a curve at this height because the earth is bigger, then guess what? Y'all need to rewrite the geometry books because you're still using spherical geometry that's based upon the blue marble picture, which is giving us an earth with a diameter of 24,000 miles wide, you know, a circumference, I'm sorry. So, you just can't make it up as you go because all the math we got is based upon these locked in numbers. Like you can't say, well, the earth's spinning faster than this much because all of our facts is based upon the speed we got locked in. And, you know, so you're locked in with those numbers, basically, is what I'm saying. And based on these numbers, we should start seeing curvature at around anywhere from 35,000 to 50,000 feet, which is why ChatGPT is even saying that. But guess what I'm doing? I'm showing you is wrong. I hear what everybody's saying. I hear it all the time. Sanchez, you never been in an airplane. I fly all the time and I don't see curvature. It's just in y'all mind. Next time you get in an airplane, pay attention. See if you see curvature. Again, this equipment can't work in an airplane. This the damnable evidence right here. This right here. I just went over that. So I don't want to spend too much time on one argument. We got to move it on along. So let's see what's coming up next here.